personalized application can help students overcome challenge in language assessment preparation. Desri and Indah, you have 15 minutes for your presentation. The floor is yours.
Hello, good morning. Thank you so much, moderator.
My pleasure.
Let us share our PowerPoint, our slide. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And yeah, good morning one more time. So happy to be here, to be a part of the conference of AsiaCALL. And so greetings from me there. My name is Desri Sumbayak, and then with my co-author, Indah Putri Tamala, we're going to share to you our results of research on listening. So the title is Optimizing Listening Skills with ZIELTS Application and Technological Approach to IELTS Success. So, the study is the objective of the study is to investigate the ZIELTS application effectiveness in improving IELTS listening performance. Identify its most beneficial features and examine user perception to compared to traditional methods. So IELTS is the background of our study. As you know, IELTS is now a global recognized standard for English language proficiency. So more and more, I think, examinees take IELTS for many reasons, for academic reasons, to contribute to study or to apply for a job in other countries. So there are four aspects of IELTS. So listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So in this research, we focus on the listening, where we can see that listening segment is particularly very important, yet very challenging for many test takers. Yeah, because listening is supposed to be the most easiest skill for language learners, but in fact it's very challenging for English learners, particularly in the context of TFL. So because also listening requires understanding of vocabulary, grammar also at the same time, pronunciations and the context. So EFL learners face significant difficulties with listening comprehensions, as in our case, because I teach in English department, Universitas Sumatera Utara, where in the class we have more than 50 students, and the practice for listening sometimes very limited in terms of times, and also in terms of times and in intensive interactions between the listening tasks and then the students. So yeah, what are the challenges of the context of teaching listening in IELTS preparations class? So listening exercises very often are lack of engagement. Yeah, for students, doing practice, listening practice is a little bit more, it's very boring, and in the class it's very limited. Yeah. Limited exposure to diverse accents and also speech patterns. So, because the students then not really familiar with a variety of accents and speech patterns of the listening types. So then we're thinking about AI, then how then AI can help the students to learn
language, particularly in listening for IELTS preparations class. So some scholars have done some research on this. So AI guided personalized learning improves actually the outcomes, yeah, the language outcomes. And other scholars also done research on natural language processing and also automatic speech recognitions. And these provide actually immediate feedback and adaptive instructions. Another research by Zahra in 2020 say that mobile assisted language learning may enable the students to have their own self-paced practice. So based on this previous research done by scholars, and then we're thinking about how to apply applications to help the students to improve their listening skills. So we find actually an application which is very good and also free downloaded. ZIELTS applications, that's the name of the applications. And actually this one is AI powered applications, which is launched quite new March 2024 with the interactive exercises and simulated tests, audio transcripts, and vocabulary support. Okay, so for the next parts of the presentations, my co-author Indah Putri Tamala will continue.
Yeah, so I will take over. I'll explain. Sorry. No, just from here. Just from here. It's okay, just yeah, so our methodology employ a rigorous mixed method approach to capture both quantitative performance data and qualitative user experience. We randomly selected 10 male and female students from IELTS preparation class at Universitas Sumatera Utara. And our design was straightforward but thorough. First, participants completed a pre-test using IELTS predictions to establish baseline listening abilities. And then come a 2-week treatment period where participants choose the ZIELTS application at their own pace. After 2 weeks, we administer an identical post-test to measure changes in performance. And finally, we conducted a focus group discussion to gather rich qualitative feedback about their experiences. For analysis, we use descriptive statistic pair with t-tests for the quantitative data and thematic analysis for the qualitative insights from logbooks and also from the focus group discussion. Here's what the data reveal. And I think this is quite interesting. Before the intervention, our participants averaged a band scores of 6.75. This placed them in the competent to good user category. Solid, but obviously still room for improvement. And after just 2 weeks of using the ZIELTS application, the average increased to 6.9. And this improvement occur in only 2 weeks. Even small gains are meaningful. Okay, now we move to the results during this period. Yes, this is the pretest results. This is the pretest reveal a wide range of proficiencies. We had scores ranging from band 3, classified as very limited, all the way up to band 9, which is expert level. And this diversity was actually beneficial as it allowed us to observe how ZIELTS work across different proficiency levels. For the treatment phase, during the 2 weeks treatment phase, usage patterns were revealing. Participants used the application between 7 and 13 times with an average of 10 uses. Interestingly, the most popular topic was place introduction, selected 15 times, while environment was least popular with only 4 selections. This demonstrates that students engage in self-direct learning, choosing topics based on personal interests and perceived needs, which is exactly what we hope the flexible design would enable. And then now to the post-test results, show some fascinating individual variation. We saw a notable improvement when participants jumped from band 4 to 5.5, and another improve from 8 to 8.5, which at higher bands is particularly impressive during 2 weeks treatment. But what did students actually think about using ZIELTS? Okay, this is some excerpts from the FGD. Okay, when students told us the text and voice don't always match, which can be confusing. This was an honest critic. Some participants noticed occasional synchronization issues between the audio and the transcript. This is valuable technical feedback that developers need to address to enhance the learning experience. The second quote mentioned, AI can help, but two-side interaction is necessary for effective learning. This comment is also particularly insightful. It suggests that while AI tools like ZIELTS, for example, are valuable, they work best as supplements rather than replacements for traditional instruction. These quotes represent the balanced perspective we found throughout our focus group discussion. Based on our findings, several key themes. First, the positive aspect. Interactive features genuinely enhance engagement. Students were not just passively listening, but they were also actively participating. However, I'm sorry, the self-paced learning design supported diverse needs, allowing advanced learners to move quickly while giving struggling students time they need. Audio transcript and vocabulary exercise were highly valued, with multiple participants mentioning this as their favorite feature. However, we must acknowledge the challenges as well. Minor audio text mismatch were reported, as we heard from one of the students. Some participants also found inconsistencies in answer keys. And as we saw in our data, individual progress varied across participants, reminding us that no single tools works equally well for everyone. Uh, uh, uh. But one of the crucial thing is most of the participants prefer prefer drills over traditional preparation methods. So what does all this means? Let me wrap up in our conclusions. Our main conclusion is clear. The ZIELTS application improved listening performance, and the most effective features were flexible topic selection, audio transcript, vocabulary exercises, and self-paced interactive learning. Participants found ZIELTS more engaging than traditional methods, particularly appreciating its user-friendly interface and instant feedback. Through minor audio text synchronization issues need addressing. We also have some recommendation. First, for the practitioners, teachers, and IELTS instructors, we recommend three action to integrate AI tools into the teaching, monitor usage, and provide support, and also gather regular student feedback to continuously improve how to implement these tools. And also for the researcher, maybe they could conduct longitudinal studies and also compare ZIELTS with other platforms to identify what makes certain feature more effective, and also could explore hybrid learning models that optimally combine AI tool with traditional instruction. And with that, I would like to conclude our presentation. Thank you once again, and I look forward to our discussion. Thank you.
Chị. Okay, is my voice clear? Okay, my question is, in your view, how might the increasing use of application like ZIELTS affect the role of teachers in IELTS preparation classes in the long term? Is that clear, or should I repeat?
Yes, please kindly repeat the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
The question is, in your view, how might the increasing use of applications like ZIELTS affect the role of teachers in IELTS preparation classes in the long term?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, as we suggest, in our opinion, in our perspective, so the presence of the teachers physically in real situation, I think is still very important, cannot be changed by any tools, technological tools or AI. So as from our research, we find that I think AI just can help
the teachers, to support the students in
learning the language, particularly in IELTS preparation. So, yeah.
that's our opinion. Yeah. Thank you.
Indah. Okay, let us now proceed to our next presenter. Our second speaker is Dang Thi Medung from the Foreign Trade University in Vietnam. The paper is evaluating the effectiveness of AI integration in business English teaching, evidence from FTU HCMC. Medung, can you hear my voice?
Yes, thank you. So just wait for a moment. I will share my screen. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
You have 15 minutes for your presentation. Thank you.
Yes, yes, thank you. Sorry, have you seen my screen share already?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. So we can start right now. Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to make a short presentation related to AI. So I am Đặng Thị Mỹ Dung from Foreign Trade University, Ho Chi Minh City campus of Vietnam. So the topic we are going to focus on that is evaluating the effectiveness of AI integration in business English teaching, evident from Foreign Trade University, Ho Chi Minh City campus. So let's have a look at the research context and significance of our study. As you know, traditional business English teaching often emphasize rote memorization and grammar training, fail to prepare students for real-world business communication in global trade scenario. And Vietnamese learners struggle with pronunciation, cultural nuance in business discourse, and practical application in international context. And we have the opportunity that is AI technologies offer interactive, context-rich learning environment tailored to Vietnamese learners' need in international trade and business. And the studies investigate the factor influences students' AI adoption, and validates an AI integrated teaching model at FTU Ho Chi Minh City campus. In order to find out the research finding, so we focus on 3 questions here. The first one, AI's application extent. So to what extent is AI technology applied in business English classes at FTU Ho Chi Minh City? The second question, we focus on the student attitudes. So what are the business English student attitudes toward AI integrated teaching? And the third question focuses on influences factors and model effectiveness. So what factor influence student behavioral intention to use AI? And how does an AI integrated model enhance proficiency? So in order to recognize or answer this question, so we can focus on a theoretical framework based on UT-AUT model. So the study employed the unified theories of acceptance and the use of technology extended with additional factors relevant to business English learning context. So there's some field that we also focus on, like performance expectation, the attitudes, perceived fun, effort expectation, the social influence, like a peer and faculty encouragement, facilitating condition. The research methodology we apply in our study, that is a mixed methods design, quantitative dominance approach combining structural equation modeling and experimental validation. The participants took part in our study. There's 200 business English students at FTU Ho Chi Minh City, but only 186 valid survey respond, 73 in experimental study. So the data collection through online questionnaire, 5-point Likert scale, and pre-both proficiency tests across 5 dimensions. The tool we use for analysis studies SPSS for descriptive statistics and t-test, Amos and Sam-Bath analysis. Participant demographic here. So the total sample, that is 200. Valid responses, 186. So it's account for 90% response rate. Among the respondents here, 60% are female students. The average age, the first and the second year student. So proficiency range of the respondent, that is IELTS, ranging from 5.5 to 7 equivalent. And formal integration here, limited in coursework before study. So the scale, reliability, and validity. So the questionnaire demonstrated strong psychometric property, confirming its suitability and measuring adoption. AI's adoption is a factor. So we also try to check this one through the Cron-Bassan-Farr and response rate, that is 186 valid from 200 distributed. From the research, from our studies, we also recognize some key research findings as follows. Direct effects on behavioral intention. Structural equation modeling reveals 4 significant direct predictors of student intention to use AI for business English learning. Focus on performance expectation, effort expectation, facilitating condition, and attitudes. Otherwise, you also focus on effects of students' attitude, like a performance expectation, facilitating condition, social influence, perceived fun, and export expectation. So we also recognize maybe performance expectation also get a higher score for this one. The AI integrated teaching, a comprehensive business English teaching model was developed, integrating AI technology across all learning phases to address traditional methods limitation. We have a pre-class, in-class, post-class, and outside class here. So with pre-class, we have some like AI's power vocabulary builder, personalized contents recommendation, automatic pronunciation and practice. In class, the student have some real-time business simulation. This one is very important for business students. AI chatbot for dialogue practice, interactive scenario-based learning, and the most class intelligence feedback system. They can get like an instant feedback, adaptive assessment tool, personalized revision smart, and outside class tutoring asset, gamify practice app, and it also suggests like a peer collection, collaborations platform. Experimental design, pre-experimental baseline. For business analysts here, we have a two group, control group and experimental. Intervention here, the control group, traditional teaching method. Experimental group, we use like an AI integrated model. So the most experimental conserve here, we also recognize we focus on recognize the language perception, compare between the control group and experimental group. So we recognize that maybe it's with the experimental. So maybe the performance also can be encouraged, can be enhanced. Overall, the business English proficiency gains, we also recognize significant improvement conform pre-boss improvement, 4.39%. AI versus traditional, we can get about 5.47%. So the experimental group uses the AI integrated teaching model, demonstrated statistically significant improvement in overall business English proficiency. Students achieve a mean score 71 compared to 67 in the control group. So this also confirms AI's technology enhanced effect on language teaching's outcome. Let's have a look at the measure specific insight in the context here. We also should look at like maybe it's the dimension comprehension, evaluation, application, perception, and acquisition. So from the results here, we also should recognize like a perception. Minimal scan reflect AI as a cultural blindness in business context, a key areas for future development, where it's Asian specific commerce training. From the research finding, we also try to make some implication for Vietnamese context. The refinement, performance expectancies emerge as the strongest predictor, aligning with Vietnamese student career-driven motivation in international trade context. The second one is effort expectancies are trailing, high cognitive load in prompt engineering challenge global scenarios of AI, intuitive, requires localized training. Institutional individualism. So the social influence non-significant, reviews Vietnamese youth, prioritize lecturer endorsement over peer influence. About the attitude as a mediator. So the attitudes also mediates perceived fun and social influence, highlighting the importance of a positive faculty's modeling and engages AI feature. Regional comparative advantage. So FTU Ho Chi Minh City's domain-specific AI integration demonstrates superior outcome compared to regional peer uses generic tool. So compared with the Shanghai University in 2024, so we see the integration here. Generic chatbot. So proficiency gain 4.39%. But here from FTU, so we also recognize proficiency gain 47%. Compared to Hanoi University, the studies carried out in 2024, so proficiency gain plus 2.1%. So FTU Ho Chi Minh City approach yield 24% higher gain than generic tool, positioning it as a regional leader in AI's enhanced business English education. So the equities, ethics, and implementation consideration. However, there's some equities and challenges like a no significant gap in AS gain, rural origin student, lower gain due to internet access. So the policy recommendation is for offline first ACE model for 2026 AI's lab. For the second one, some consideration related to ethics, like AI hallucination risk requires a human in the loop verification for high-stake output, the data's privacy, cultural sensitivity. There's some limitation in our study, and we also make some recommendation for future research direction. The sample limitation here, single institution focused in our university, FTU Ho Chi Minh City only, and relatively small experimental sample limit generalizability across Vietnamese higher education. The second one, that is a self-report data, reliant on questionnaire responses introduce potential social desirability, bias in attitude and intention measurement, duration constraint, one semester intervention may not capture the long-term retention effect or sustained behavioral changes in AI use pattern. Therefore, we have made some recommendation for future research direction, like a longitudinal design across multiple Vietnamese university, broader AI tool integration, qualitative exploration of cultural adaptation, need, and investigation of perception dimension improvement. So we have some practical recommendation for the institution. The first one, the faculty's development, train lecturer as an AI as a champion, yet to leverage institutional individualism. The infrastructure investment should be focused, yet establish AI lab with offline first model to address rural student internet disparity and ensure equitable access. Curriculum integration, we also should try to embed AI tool across pre-class, in-class, and outside class activity. The cultural customization here, develop Asian business corpus fine-tuning to improve perception dimension gains and address cultural nuance gap, as well as we also should try to make some consideration related to ethical protocols here, implement human in the loop verification for higher stake output, and establish data privacy protection for student learning analytics. In conclusion, we can say that the study confirmed AI technology significant enhances effect on business English teaching at Foreign Trade University Ho Chi Minh City campus, performance expectation, effort expectation, facilitating condition, and attitudes directly influence student intention to use AI. The AI integrated model used 4.39% pre-post improvement and 5.47 advantage over traditional method. So we also recognize like a validated framework. The UT-AUT model refines for Vietnamese business English context, proven efficacy, and the future direction. So the future of English education embraces AI's potential, while addresses a cultural adaptation need, equities, challenges, and ethical consideration. So FTU Ho Chi Minh City is positioned as a regional leader in this transformation. So that's all for our presentation. So thank you very much for all of your listening, and we are waiting for your feedback and question. Thank you.
Thank you, Midong, for that meaningful and reflective presentation. Your findings on how students respond to AI tools and how they perform in business English contests provide valuable guidance for educators. Now we invite questions from the audience. Please indicate if you'd like to ask a question either by raising your hand or typing in the chat. Okay.
Sorry, we can't hear your voice.
Hello? Can you hear my voice? Yes. Okay. My name is Helen, and I'm in third semester. I want to ask you, business English relies heavily on tacit knowledge, such as diplomacy, persuasion, and reading between the lines. In your opinion, to what extent can AI teach this aspect, and how can they be evaluated? Thank you.
Is it clear?
Thank you for your question. Could you please clarify the first section of your question? Could you please clarify the first question? Thank you. Sorry, can you clarify the first question? The first section.
I'm sorry.
business English relies heavily on tacit knowledge, such as diplomacy, persuasion, and reading between the lines. In your opinion, to what extent can AI teach this aspect, and how can they be evaluated?
Yes,
Is
thank
that
you.
clear?
Thank you
Okay.
very much for your
Thank you.
question. Yeah, so the question is interesting here. We talk about diplomacy as well as persuasion, persuasiveness, for the student. So I think that maybe this one is very important for our student, like maybe they are in the field of business. So we can use AI to try to create some simulation, for the student, to practice. Suppose here they can role play, so maybe say there's some case study related to business, like the way how they can sign a contract, business contract, or maybe it's in a negotiation, for example. So this one can help the student a lot, especially maybe it's in the field of business, like in our case, and the ways how we can evaluate maybe it's the technical we use here. So I think that maybe it's before we try to create the simulation for the student use of AI support. So we also got to check about the accuracy for this part, about the appropriateness, for this situation, to make sure that they are maybe consistent with the criteria from the curriculum of the student, and it also to fit the student demand before we apply in our studies. There is teaching and learning, especially in the fields of business English.
Thank you very much for your thoughtful reply. Does anyone have a question? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now concluded our presentations and discussion for this session. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend my sincere appreciation to our two presenters for sharing their excellent research, deep insight, and thoughtful reflection on the dynamic relationship between AI, culture, and communication. To all participants, thank you for your attention, engagement, and valuable questions. These dialogues are essential as we navigate the evolving landscape of technology, humanity, and humanity. The conversation doesn't end here. Let us now continue to reflect, collaborate, and innovate with awareness, empathy, and intellectual curiosity. This session is now officially closed. Thank you once again, and I wish you all a productive and inspiring reminder of the conference. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.